Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our daily current affairs on the newspaper. So we will have the near about 7 topics that we are going to discuss one by one. The first topic again, it is from the Supreme Court listing of the a case that will judge, that will challenge, that will take the challenge, and yes, it will be on the verifying count into the EVM before polls. Okay. Also, it is about the VVPAT verification. So we will see that how there could be the reform into the electoral process. So it will be for the mains specific. Then we will study that nuclear power that is key to India's development, says the report. It is the report that is being conducted by the IIM Ahmedabad, and we have seen that if India want to achieve the developed countries status, or if India want to achieve the net zero carbon emission, in that case the share of this nuclear power should increase. It is 1.6% now. So it is the for the mains. Then we will study that there has been the demand from the Tamil Nadu for the more fund for the disaster relief from the center. So we will just know the what is the basic behind the National Disaster Response Fund. So it will be for the prelims as well as for the mains under the disaster management GS paper 3. Then we will study the turning the spotlight on the urban poor. So here there will be the a detailed study and the survey that has been done, that how the trend of employment, unemployment, and the migration from the rural area to the urban area has been there into the Indian case. So it will be for the mains GS paper 3. Then we will study the fiscal battle that is between the Kerala government and the central government. So here the Supreme Court has accepted to see that how Article 293 provide the power of a state for the borrowings for its fiscal and economic functional and operations. So it will be for again mains GS paper 3. Then we will study the system science for a better future. Here it is a philosophical type of the essay that's talking about how a integrated picture of the different domain of the expertise is needed, and in the lack of such holistic domain and expertise, we are facing different socio-economic issues across the society. So again, it will be for the mains essay paper. In the last, we will study that the living wills that has been provided to the public under the Supreme Court order, but still it is not prevalent. So we will see that what are the difficulty that is in implementation of living will. So it will be again for the means as it is against the right to die with dignity. So we will see that this living will provide the right to die with the dignity, but as there is the ambiguity into the guideline and there is no specific guideline from the state government, that's why such scenario is existing. So let's start with the front page. The front page again, it is the Supreme Court list pleas on verifying count into the EVMs before the polls. So now the Supreme Court has accepted the case, the plea that it will see that could be the, is it possible that verification of all the VVPAT slips that is verified that a people or a voter, if I will go to the vote, if I will press the button for a particular party, and in there will be the a peak sound, and after that there will be the a slip that will mention the political party that I have voted. Okay, so here it will be the verified by this VVPAT. Okay, so court will see this challenge in the next week, and this is from the Association for the Democratic Reform. So you should remember that this is a electoral reform, and already this VVPAT was introduced by the electoral reform, and the case was Subramaniam Swamy versus Election Commission of India case 2003, and after that this VVPAT was introduced. Okay, in that case the Supreme Court mentioned that there should be full transparency into the system of election. This will restore the confidence of people into the democracy and the electoral system. Okay, let's talk about that this paper trail, this is the indispensable requirement for the free and fair election, because it put the confidence level, it's eliminate the suspicion of any biasness or any countermanding of or manhandling or manipulation of election system. So here the Supreme Court said that it is satisfaction and verification of the voter that is the heart of electoral democracy. So if the voters are not satisfied, they are not able to verify where they have voted into the way same it has been the counted. So the electoral democracy will not sustain in such suspicion. Okay. Supreme Court said that it is not the election commission, domain expert, political parties or the candidates that are the core of the electoral democracy. It is the confidence of the people that is the core of the democracy. Besides that, there has been the one more challenge into the Supreme Court that the election commission do not simultaneously count the VVPAT as the counting of the vote from the EVM. So it is asking that please try to bring a provision under that this VVPAT slips, they are counted and they are verified simultaneously with the those EVMs counting is going on. So here it is what is the method now as per the recently all the VVPAT are not counted. Okay, so what happens in a this MLA constituency, I think this each assembly constituency, okay, each is assembly constituency, there are 100 of the polling booth. Out of this 100 of the polling booth, just out of 100 or the something like that, 5 was randomly selected, and out of this 5 all the VVPAT is verified. So this is not the whole verification of the all the polling booth of the constituency, only 5. And now the petition that the challenge is that please verify 100%. Election commission is saying that it cannot verify 100%. There is a lot of difficulty. Okay. Now, as per present scenario, the government has spent 5,000 crore for the purchasing of the 24 lakh of the VVPAT, and only slips from the 20,000 VVPATs would be verified. So the demand is that please verify of all the 25 lakh because it is more than 10 times and there could be the manipulation. There is a very interesting observation and it is from the Election Commission. In the 2003 September, Election Commission said that there is no fundamental right of the voters to verify through the VVPAT that their votes were recorded as the cost. So this again it will be considered under this plea that whether the people, the electorals have the right, fundamental rights to know that whether they have, wherever they have voted that has been verified. So this is all about. Next important news that we will see that a report that has been conducted and prepared by the IIM Ahmedabad, Indian Institute of Ahmedabad. This says that without the increase in the nuclear power, we cannot easily achieve our developed country status by 2047 and net zero carbon emission by the 2070. So this is here that has been brought by this survey. So this survey is talking that we need to enhance, and the enhancement is it should have a great impact. Now, as per now, what is the percentage of the total electricity or the power supply in the overall power supply? What is the share of the nuclear power? It is just 1.6%. So it is just 1.6%. So this is expected that it should be enhanced, and at least it should be the 4% by the 2030 and the 30% by the 2050, because this nuclear power that do not emit the greenhouse gases or any air pollutants. There is the risk of the radiation, but yes, there is the benefit and advantage of the no emission of the gases such as the carbon dioxide or the methane. They are the that are the greenhouse gases. Okay, so here it is expected that there should be the increase in the nuclear power, yes, and corresponding there will be the decrease into the solar power. It will be 42% into the 2030 and the 30% into the 2050. So solar power, the share of the solar power that will increase to the 42%, gradually it will decrease to the 30%. It is only due to the increase into the nuclear power share. So we will see that how the corresponding increase will be there, and without that there is no chance that we can achieve such status. As per now, The total installed capacity of the solar energy is the 60% out of 100% of the total electricity that is generated. And coal now is still dominating 49%. So why the coal? Because coal is the cheaper, and already we have the so much industry and mining facility, we cannot replace in an easy manner. Gradually we are replacing, but the demand of electricity is increasing. That's why we need the use of the coal as the power source. So that's why, okay. Beside that, we need to require a doubling of investment and availability of the uranium. Mainly the issue with the nuclear power is that uranium has, our dependency has on the uranium, and uranium source is not into the India. We have to import, and there is the sanction and embargo, there is the restriction on the uranium export because it is used to make the nuclear weapon, the atom bomb that is made by this uranium, and there is the restriction, country do not sell, do not export from their own country. Okay. So it is coal that is expected to remain the backbone of Indian energy system, you should remember. And if the question comes that why the coal, because the demand is increasing, coal is cheaper, there is already we have the lot of mines, we have the production, we have the source, and already in the coal we have invested so much, so easily it is not easy to withdraw all this investment. Okay. In the last, you should remember that what is the money that is needed to spend on all this thing. Near about 150 to 200 lakhs of the rupees that is needed to invest by the between 2020 to 2070. So can you imagine what is the, now the Indian budget is of, whole budget is around the 40 to 45 lakh crore. So overall need into the investment of this nuclear power is the 150 to 200 lakh crores. So you should have this fact figure so that you can easily bring your analysis in more effective manner. Next important news, this is the figure that is from the destruction of this building. This is as the result of the earthquake. Yesterday it was into the Taiwan, and the magnitude of the earthquake was 7.4. So you can see that despite that high magnitude, the death toll till now is the 9 people. Only 9 people have died. Okay, any death is sad, and this is this is matter of the grievance. Okay, but the thing is that here, if you will compare with the scenario where into the Nepal there was the earthquake, and it was of the magnitude 7.8, the death toll was 9,000, around 9,000, including India and Nepal. So you can compare that. Why it was so? Because their structure is the resilient, and that is the, there has the more sustainability with respect to the magnitude of the different magnitude of the earthquake. So it is only due to the relatively low owing to the high level of the quick preparedness. Their preparedness for the earthquake is already, their response, their risk operation, all is very quick. Already they were prepared, and that's why the toll was not as it was expected with the such type of the magnitude. The second news, next news again, it is from the front page. It is talking about the firms without the profit donated through the electoral bonds. So already electoral bond is continuously in the news. One more fact that is coming, that the 45 company which made the aggregate donation of the 1432 crore through the such bonds have the suspected source of the fund. Okay, so 14 crore 32,000, 1432 crore rupees they have donated, and yes, this donation was from the those company which doesn't have the benefit. Without earning, they were donating that amount of the to the political parties, and out of 1400, near about 1100 crore that was to the BJP alone. It is the 75% of the all this bond that was gone to the BJP. Okay. Out of this 33, out of this 45 firm donated have the negative or the near zero net profit. They do not have the profit, but still they donated. So this is the condition. Many of them have been found that their donation is much more than what was their overall benefit. Here, the news that is the three freed Rajiv Gandhi case convicts, they have sent back to the Sri Lanka. What is the name? Murugan, that is known as the Sriharan. Okay. Robert Payas and Jay Kumar. So please remember for the state pieces, they can ask that those who are recently released, what is the name? So Robert Payas, that is a bit difficult, but Jay Kumar and Murugan, they were the continuously into the news as well. Here again the case is the tussle between the state that is governed by the opposition party and the central government with respect to the disaster relief. Already we have seen such tussle between the central government, Kerala and Karnataka. Now it is the Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has filed a case and asked that from the disaster relief fund, central government has not provided 38,000 crore that was needed, and it was due to the calamity and the cyclone and the flood that was recently hit the Tamil Nadu government. So you should know that what is this National Disaster Response Fund. This case is under the Article 131. Article 131 talk about the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, where the case is filed, that is to settle the dispute between center and the state or the different state and other state. So this is the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Here it is given 131, original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. It is for the cases between the government of India and one or more state, government of India and any state, or the one state one side and other state on the other side, between the two or more states. So let's understand what is the original jurisdiction of Supreme Court. In this original jurisdiction, the case will be government of India versus, there could be the one state or there could be the multiple state at one point, at one side. There is other case where the government of India and few of the state will be one side state versus state or many state will be other side state, and maybe other state will be there. The original jurisdiction also provide that if there is it is not the government of India but the state versus state or group of state versus group of state, they can, this will be the nature, this will be the nature of the dispute. So please understand. The other thing you should know is the disaster fund. Okay, so here it is, what is the basic about this National Disaster Response Fund? Okay, so previously it was known as the National Calamity Contingency Fund, and it is managed by the central government. Whole control is of the central government. Okay, and it is for the man-made disasters as well as the natural disaster. In the both cases it will be. And what will be the funding method? It could be funded by the central government as well as state government. Even the public donation can be added into this national disaster national disaster response fund. Okay, when the state will need, whenever there is the calamity and there is the chances that this is on a very large scale, and when there is the state disaster response fund that is not sufficient to face or provide the rehabilitation and relief to the people, in that case there is need for the national disaster response fund to be provided. It provided to the state government, and the central government allot the money under this fund. Okay, so this is all about from this fund. Okay. Next important news that we are going to take is the turning the spotlight on the urban poor. So this is the main article of today's newspaper, and it is talking about the how there has been the different pattern of the employment into the urban and rural area. So this is into the context of the recent India employment report that was by the Institute of Human Development and International Labour Organization. So in that context, there has been the survey, and this survey has been conducted by the writer Indra Day. He is the professor at the Institute of Rural Management. So all the article, all the viewpoint is of this writer. So what he is talking about the, as per this India employment report, there has been decrease into the employment. Okay, and there has been the failure of the trickle down effect. What is the trickle down effect? It means that if there will be the rich people who will get to more growth and more money, if their income will increase, they will invest into the economy, and at the lower level there will be the more companies and factory will be open, and by that there will be the all this money will be trickle down into the that area, and at the grassroots level the workers, the poor people will get the benefit. So money here that is increasing, maybe here the that big businessman that is earning, he will invest into the different companies. These companies will hire the different other small companies, and these small companies will hire the different people, and these workers will invest into the market. So the farmers and other person will get, so all the section of the economy and the society will get benefited if this will be money is coming here. This is the theory, this is the principle, but in reality what happens, whatever money comes here, this big businessman increase its bottle, its cup he is increasing, and whatever the money that is not trickling down to the down. Okay, so trickle down is not taking place. This concept is on the basis of like whenever there is the pebbles that is full of this pot or the glass, if you will put water here, this water will flow down to the bottom, so everyone will get the some water, and in the last this water will reach this portion. This is the concept of the trickle down. Trickle down is generally consider that whenever we bring something at the higher level of the society, that gradually flow to the lower level. The same type of the you will study in the history, the Britishers also wanted to bring such type of the education policy. They wanted to educate the urban people and upper class people, upper caste people, so that they gradually will teach the lower level, lower caste and the lower class people, and after that this will reach to the grassroots. But this is not case here. It is so that this is the theory, but in principle this happen. This rich people become more richer, and here these become more and more poorer. This is the condition, and that's why the gap is there. This writer has conducted such a survey into the Kolkata and in the slum area, and he has found that there has been high growth rate in the overall economy. It is 4.8%. Okay. No, the unemployment rate that is into the urban area is higher. It is the 4.1% as compared to the rural area where the unemployment rate is the just 1.5%. Okay. However, there is the contradiction. The contradiction is that in urban area, the income of the people, despite there is the low employment rate, high unemployment rate, means out of 100 in the urban area, if there is the 5 people who are not able to get the job, it is in the rural area just 1 people. Okay, this is the scenario. But whoever is getting the job, their income is more in urban area. Despite the people, lesser people are getting the job into the urban area, but the income is high as compared to the rural area. They have the more employment opportunity, but the income is low. This is the first scenario that has given here. Okay. Second thing, we have find that there has been the decrease of the migration from the rural area to the urban area. Generally, people go from the village area to the urban area to get better job. But in the urban area, what they are finding, they are not finding the better job, and their living condition is not good. They live into the slums. These are the type of the slums where there is the lack of the sanitation and the different facility such as the water and a parking environment, everything that is very much congested and unhygienic. This is the slum area where the people, those who migrate from the poor background of the village, they in the end up into the this type of the slum area. Not they come for the this type of the formal settlement where everything is there, cleanliness, facilities is there, but they are turning into the this area because they don't have to money to pay for this type of the colonies and the formal settlement where the rent is very high. Here they come, rent is low, but the condition is not good. Even the crime level is very high into the slum areas. Okay, so this is the thing, and that is the reason that people now don't migrating to the urban area because their living condition is not good. Okay. What has been the trend into the Kolkata slum as per this survey? Unskilled labor remain the most common occupation. Those who are being the getting into the job, mostly they are unskilled. And other area of the job is the maybe it is skilled and the semi-skilled, but it is very low, and there are employment into the private organizations. In the private organization, there could be the jobs such as the support staff or the cleaner. Okay, all this thing is there. And the ownership of the petty businesses or the small shops, they are working into the small petty businesses. Maybe there could be the contractor agent. Under that, there is the some of the people who are working as the support or the help, or also into the small shops such as the tea stall or the some dhabas they are working, but the paying skill is very low, and their living condition, their employment security and the condition all are not good. Okay, this is the this that is coming from the survey. Okay, employment into the petty business and small shop has increased at the higher rate, 9%. Those who are working into the dhabas or the tea stall or the small restaurant, the number and is increasing much higher as compared to the those who are working into the skilled and the semi-skilled area. Okay. Now we have seen that there has been the trend that previously that job was less popular. Now that has becoming the more popular. Such job that are such as the truck drivers and the cleaning, and there has been the increase into the 5%. Okay, construction and the related work, there has been the increase into the 4%. So this is the finding from the this survey. Okay, let's see the income trend. What has been the income trend? We have find that the monthly income into the slum area of these workers, that is decreasing at the constant price. So it was 4,900 rupees in 2012, but constant price in the real in the market price, there has been the increase, but into the constant price. Are you able to understand what is the difference between the market price and the constant price? The constant price is that your capacity to buy the thing irrespective of the money you earn. For example, if in 2012, despite 4,900 that is the income, the person is able to buy amount of vegetable 10 kg into the month, rice 15 kg, pulse that is 10 kg, and eggs 7 on daily basis for his family. So this was the income 4,900 that was into 2012, and 2022, despite his income has increased to the 9,800, but he is not able to buy all this thing. He is able to, in this money, he is able to buy only vegetable that is 8 kg, that was previously it was 10 kg. Rice that was previously 15 kg, now he is able to buy 12 kg. Pulse that he was able to buy 10 kg, now he is able to 7 kg. And eggs for his family, now he is able to buy only 5 eggs on a daily basis. This has been the result. Despite there has been the increase into the market price income, but in the reality, his capacity to buy the things had decreased. That's why it has mentioned that writer has mentioned that his income on the constant price had decreased. So here it is given. Okay. Here the trend is that this is normal. The highest salary is for the government employees, and that's why we know that there has been the government employees, despite whatever the level they are working, even if they are working into the sanitation, safai karmachari, still their salary is around 20-25,000. But normally If the people are working into the small tea stall, there is the 8 to 10,000, 12,000, maximum 15,000. So if you compare even with the government employee, the lowest level of the employee will be getting better than the those who are working to the other area, non-government area. Okay, so here we have seen that despite they are getting the high income, but their income overall as per the paying capacity has been decreasing consistently. Okay, the thing is that the lowest income, as you know, that who are the domestic servant and unskilled workers, those who are working as the help into the houses, they have the least salary and they are most vulnerable. This is the trend of the employment. Okay, we have seen that there has been the construction and related work, there has been the highest decline into the real income. This real income is again this constant price, the paying capacity, the buying capacity. This is the thing as we have seen. Continuously there has been the decline into this income into the area of the construction and other area, as well as those who are working into the petty business and small shops, and even who are working at the self-employment. Here we have seen there has been the decline. Number of the self-employed person, those who are selling their tea and the pakoda, the number has increased, but their income has decreased. Why? Take the example. If there is a particular market, and here it was into the 2000, the pakoda shop was 5, and their income, each pakoda shop was in earning 15,000 on a monthly basis. What happened into the 2022? The number of this pakoda shop increased from 5 to 9. Okay, 5 to 9, 9 shop. But the income of each of them is 12,000. That is the case. Okay, that's why the number increased of the pakoda shops, but the income of each of the owners that had decreased. You will go into the rural area, in the general stores, you will find that the people are talking like the, yes, there has been there is lot of shops, and that's why our income has decreased. Generally we will listen the conversation. If you will go and ask any of the family from the general store or any of the shop, they will say that now our income has decreased because the number of the shops had increased, and this is the reason here that trend has been found into this survey as well. And what is the gender composition? Gender composition is still that is very marginal. You have seen that this number of the shops, petty shops and the small businesses has increased, but the number of the women's at these shops is still that is no presence, very low presence. Okay, so here this shows that a 3% decline in the women's workforce participation. So there has been the decline from the 2021 as compared to the 2012. Okay, so this is the scenario into the area of the this income trend. Thus, we are seeing that the rise into the casual work, and we know that in the casual work there is the less protection. They do not, there is lack of the protection from the social shock. You will be thrown out of the job anytime without any compensation, any notification. So there is high risk. The second thing is that there is no proper adjustment or the arrangement of the leave, vacation, holidays. They are not. Even on the weekly basis, there is no such vacation or the holiday. That is the here into the this casual work. Beside that, if you will face any of the medical emergency, there will be no support. This is the condition from these casual works, and that's why these are the suffering. Self-employment again, and the employment in these all is small businesses. There has been the rise, but their income has not that much proportionate higher rise. Okay. Female workforce participation, already we saw that there is the decrease or there is no improvement, and there has been the reduction, there has been the reduction in the inequality. But the inequality reduction is not due to the this increase into the those who are at the lower slab, but due to the like that there is two type of the reduction of inequality. First is that there are the two person whose income level is this. One is earning 5,000, other is earning 50,000. So the income could be reduced into the two manners. The first chance is that his income decreases and it's become 30,000, and so the difference between this person and this person, previously it was 45k, now it will be 25k. So there is the decrease in the inequality, but this is not good thing until and unless there is the other type of the decrease in inequality. So here his income is still 50k and his income will rise to the 25k, and then the difference between them will be 25k. So this is the positive type of the reduction in inequality. This demand is there, but what we are witnessing not in the growth of his income is remain there, or there has been a decrease of the 5k, but his income is decreasing. His income is decreasing to the 50 to the 30k and maybe lower. This is the condition, this is the scenario. This is all about from this employment scenario and survey and analysis. That is all about this news analysis and article. Next news that we are going to take is from the, again this is editorial, and it is between the center and state tussle into the financial matter, and on this ground there has been a suit that has been filed, the case that has been filed into the Supreme Court by the Kerala government, and Kerala is telling that this center is not letting us to borrow from the market so that we can run our state affairs into the smooth manner. The center is restricting our physical capability, borrowing capability, and it is impacting the economy of the Kerala. Intentionally, the center want to cripple down the Kerala. This is the allegation from the Kerala against the center. Center is telling that no, this Kerala government is not managing its state of affairs in the economy in the proper manner, and there is the chances of the instability of the economy into the Kerala, and that's why it can impact the whole economy of the India. So that's why this is our responsibility, that we have to manage, restrict the borrowing capacity of the Kerala. This is the whole tussle point that is going on between the center and the Kerala government. This is here. So the Supreme Court thought that why not just check the whole power? The power under that, the center is restricting the borrowing power of the Kerala. Let's check that. Let's see that. And that's why it has referred this case to the constitutional bench. What is the constitutional bench? The constitutional bench are those bench of the Supreme Court where 5 and more judges sit. Minimum 5 judges, so that they can decide about the constitutional provision. What is written in the constitution? It is the duty of the Supreme Court and the High Court to interpret and tell these states and center and other people that what is meant by this rule. Are you getting that? Like the Supreme Court, this apex court working as a teacher, telling that what is mean by that. They are not able to understand the state and the center. They are interpreting as per their own benefit. So what is the article that will be tested? Article 293 that will be tested. This gives the power to the state to borrow as per the law made by the state legislature. Be very clear. So here article 293 is there. It is telling that the executive power of state to extend the borrowing within the territory of India. Please very careful. It is the within the territory of India, not the outside India. And also it is not within the state. It is the whole territory of India. Okay. Each line has its significance, and the security will be given from the consolidated fund of the state. This is here. You should be very clear. This is this you should understand. Okay. Center can also borrow, not only India but outside India, but it is under Article 292 that gives its power. So please remember both of the Article 292 that's give the power to the central government, and its borrowing power will be limited and will be guided by the rule made by the parliament. So you should understand, here it is the parliament, here it is the state legislature. Okay. So here it is very clearly given that it is the power of a state to borrow within the territory of India, and the security will be from the consolidated fund of the state. Okay. And the limit will be set by the state legislature. So how the center is interfering? Already our state legislature has given the power. This is the claim from the Kerala government. Kerala government is also telling that this government of India has role into the when the state government going and asking from the central government to give us loan. We are not asking from the central government. We are going into the open market from the people to ask the loan. But this central government is restricting our even the power to borrow from the market. I am not asking from you how you can, for example, if there is the three people, A, B, C, and A go to the B to the ask for the money, why the C will speak? This is the condition of the Kerala government. If I am A, Kerala government, C is the market, common people, and B is the union government. B has no right. If I will go to the B and ask that please give me money, then the P will say that set the rules that I cannot give you more than 2,000 rupees. I will take you 10% of the interest if I will go to the U. As per this Article 293, it is the rule. If it is from the central government restriction, when the central government borrowing will be there, if the state will go to the central government and borrow, then only there is the lot of condition. It's the condition also tell that if there is the sum of the dues, there is the already outstanding loan, then there will be the sum of the restriction that will be put by the center. So this is all about from the 293. Please remember 293, that is very important. The other allegation is that Kerala is telling that the central is counting our a different loan taken by its PSUs, state PSUs, also as the borrowing and the loan of the state government of the Kerala. So look here. This is the state government of the Kerala state government. There is the PSUs into the state, that is the PSUs, state PSUs, that is the government related. Okay. So Kerala government is here, it is telling that if there is the restriction of the loan, maybe take that the 10,000 loan can be taken by the Kerala government. Okay. Kerala government is telling that if this state PSU, they are taking loan independent of this, it should not be counted into this limit. For example, if they have taken 5,000 loan, so you cannot bring it within this. It should be the separate loan. So why you are adding their loan into our loan? Okay, so ours should be the independent loan. If you will add up, so our capacity will be only 5,000. It will reduce the 5,000 out of 10,000. 5,000 if you will reduce whatever the PSU has taken, you are counting on the state government loan. Our is the different functions. We have to run we have to give the salaries of the health workers, the teachers into the school, sanitation workers, lot of area we have to govern. These PSUs are the separate entity, despite they are the controlled by us, but they are not directly into our. Okay, so financial loan taken by this should be the separate. Okay, so this is the here. That is the case, that is the asked by the Kerala government. Okay. There is a law, Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, and it was legislated in 2003. Please remember that. And it was amended into the 2018, and the cap on the states have been put that the general government debt at the 60% of the GDP. More than this, loans should not be taken by any of the government. For example, if a person has the total capacity, for example, I have the total my earning income and the wealth is the 50 lakh. Okay, I cannot take the loan more than 60% of the 50 lakh. That is the as per the rule, Fiscal Responsibility and the Budget Management Act. This rule is that whatever the GDP of the state, the loan, the borrowing of that state should be the 60% of the GDP. So if my earning is the 50 lakh, leave the 50 lakh, 1 crore, and what will be my capacity to borrow? My limit to the borrow, I can take the loan of the 60 lakh. But if I want to buy a house into the Delhi and the price of that house is 1.5 crore or a 1 crore, and if I want to pay it gradually by earning in monthly basis, and yes, so cannot I take the loan? That is the condition, that is the question of the Kerala government. That why you are limiting your limit point as per this constitutional provision of 293 is that whenever I will go to take loan to you, only in that condition you can restrict of the cap my capability, not in the case of if I am borrowing from the outside. Further, this is telling that after the GST regime, when the maximum this loan and the capacity of the revenue and the levies and taxation has gone to the GST, and that is the under the GST, that is the common regime. Here, the fiscal space for the state has shrunk. The area where the state can levy has reduced. In that case, the fiscal space of the state, if you will encroach further, they will not able to survive. That is the condition that has been brought into this article, that if this is the total revenue collection limit, and out due to the GST, the state has limited to this area. Now the GST has taken out this area of the levies, okay, taxation. If you will reduce further this area, the state cannot survive. This is the stand of the states, that please don't shrink our space for the borrowing. And already there is the lot of rule that has been brought by the Defense Finance Commission that disincentivize, that penalize those states who have the better socio-economic indicators. For example, as per the new rule and as per the Finance Commission new a guideline, those states who have the less literacy, they are the more backward, they will be given the more money. As per the Finance Commission, they need more money so that they can educate their people and improve their backward section of the society at the higher stage. But this is the penalization for those who have the better indicators, and the Kerala is one of the states who have the much better socio-economic indicators, where the educational literacy rate and other area like the health indicators is much better. So these states say that we are doing the good work, and for that you are penalizing us. This is not good, and in that case you are going to penalize in one more area. This is not, this is the biased, okay, and that case the Supreme Court is going to examine all these things. For example, the Kerala government is telling that we had the 100 rupees. Okay, out of 100 rupees, we spend 90 rupees for the education, health, and other thing, and that's why our population has more literacy and education. And these other states who have the lower literacy, out of 100 rupees, they've only paid 10 rupees for the education and literacy, 90 rupees for the other expenditure. That was not that much necessary. You are giving more to them to incentivize this, the lesser, that's why they will invest less money into the important area, education and the health, and they will 90 rupees they will do expend in other area. Maybe they can build up the statue, they can build up the something that is not essential for the development. And we are doing the good work, and for that you are giving us the lesser money. This is the penalization. This is the main point of the southern state, where the developing indicators are high, they have the better condition, they are more paying into the overall taxation. UPSC always asks the question from this type of the topic. In 2021, UPSC asked a question that how have the recommendation of 14th Finance Commission of India enabled state to improve their fiscal position? Okay, so this was the question into the 2021. Look, This is the paper of the 2021. So this was the question. This is the paper mains 2021. Here question number 3 was asked that how have the recommendation of 14th Finance Commission of India enabled the state to improve their fiscal position? Please write the answer. If I will ask to write the answer, what will be your approach? How you will start? You should start with the introduction of the basics of the Finance Commission. What is the Article 280 gives its power for the constitution of the Finance Commission for the every 5 years, and it's talk about the state's financial health, revenue, expenditure, debt, and overall financial sustainability. All this is inquired and the suggestions are given. 14th Finance Commission, the key recommendation you can discuss here into the body part. After that, you can discuss about the how this recommendation improved the state fiscal position, because there was the increase into the percentage of the share from the center to state 32 to 42. That's why there has been they can enhance the revenue and also the fiscal greater autonomy, because they can decide where they have to spend on the different money, different area. So all this you can mention. You can also mention that how there is the equity provision as per this recommendation, those states who are better managing their fiscal and they are showing the fiscal prudence, they will be rewarded. All this you can discuss. And in the last, you can summarize how it's going to impact. And in the this conclusion, you can also bring the challenges should be tackled in a very proactive manner. So this should be the approach. We have provided the two model answers for the same question. So it can be, you can write it in a two way. So you can bring all this. Okay. So here are the two answers that we have provided. Please write, and you should self-evaluate by the verifying by the model answer that has been provided. So this is all about from this news article. This is very important. Next important news that we are going to take is from the again editorial. This is the dangerous game, and it is talking about the how the Patanjali has done the misleading advertisement for its product. It started with the Coronil, that was the claim for the its drug Coronil as the solution and cure for the COVID-19, despite it was just a booster. And it was done into the 2020, and this violates the Drug and Magic Remedies Objectionable Advertisement Act of 1954. Okay, so this is the law that prevent if there is the misleading advertisement or the objectionable advertisement. Okay, so this is the case, and that is the background. This started with the Coronil, and the government do not take any of the action that to tell people that this is the wrong advertisement. This is the government is the authority that checks such thing. It is the executive that has the responsibility, and it's different bodies that if there is the anyone who is violating the law, they prevent. Okay, not that. Even in those advertisement, one of the conference that was done by the Baba Ramdev in the 2021, and in that conference and the meeting, the two union ministers were present there. One was the Dr. Harshvardhan, he was the union health minister at that particular time, and Nitin Gadkari, union minister Nitin Gadkari, they were present, and that boosted the claim of the Baba Ramdev and its company that was false. And they did not did something like this. They further went ahead, and they denigrate, they criticize the allopathic medicines, that they are not, they are just misusing, and yes, they are not effective. It is like the ulta chor kotwal ko date, means you have done the theft and you are accusing those who are protecting or who are safeguarding such theft thing. Okay. So this is that you are not giving the proof of your medicine, you are misleading the people. Without proof, you are telling that you have the cure. And they further boosted. They went ahead and they said that they have also cure for the non-communicable disease and the non-communicable disease such as the diabetes, asthma, despite there is no medicine for the permanent cure. They claim that they have the permanent cure, and when the body that is the regulating this, they ask that where is the proof? They said there is no need of the proof. Whatever we are saying, that is the truth. And they said that they have the Rambad. These are the Rambad. This is the thing. And here that's why the court is critical of the government, asking that do you also involve in this thing? Do or are you getting the some of the benefit from this? Because the both the central government and the state government where this Patanjali is based, they all supported. Uttarakhand state government, they supported them in this all this thing. They never brought any of the criticism or the notification against the such type of the claim. Okay. This is not in the continuously when the court asked them to please don't do that. They asked that court asked into the November 2023 and asked that show us the proof. They were not able to show the proofs. Then the court said that please don't do this again. They said that they will not do again on the 21st of the November 2003, but the next day they again went for the press conference, and Baba Ramdev himself take a press conference and justified that the court was wrong, we were right, we are right. Such was the position. Okay. So here the thing is that if you are compromising for your favoritism to your health of your people, just to get the vote and you get into the power by the support of those who have the large base on the name of the religion, this is not for the people's interest. This is going to harm all the country people of the country for the longer duration. This is the case that you should know from the most important thing you should know is this act, that is the preventing any of such claim or the misadvertisement. The name of this is the Drug and Magic Remedies Objectionable Advertisement Act of 1954. This is all about from this news. Next important news that we are going to take is from again the editorial news, and again here it is the article written in a very comprehensive manner. This is talking about the interconnectedness of the different discipline. Okay, so this is talking about the system science for a better future. System science, what it is want to talk? It want to talk that there should be the interdisciplinary approach. Okay, and this has been discussed into the context of the recent report, and that is surveyed by the Pew Research. Okay, so Pew Research Center that has conducted a survey into the 2023, and it has found that the people across the world, they are supporting the authoritarian government. Can you imagine the people are supporting the misery, those who can torment themselves over the democracies or those who are ruling by the democracy or the democratic characteristic. Okay, so why? It is due to the previous democratic government that has not fulfilled the desire of the people. We have seen that here there has been that support from the developing countries as well as the developed countries. So what is meant by this authoritarianism? Be very clear. What is the mainly? It says the authoritarianism here. There will be the everything under these rules. There will be the elections. There will be the opposition parties. Everything will be there, but that will be manipulated. Those who will be in the power, they will never let the power transfer from the one party to the other party or one man to the other man. Okay. So this is the condition. Here in the authoritarian rule, there is no respect for the fundamental rights or the civil liberty. Anything is not given. Like the civil liberty, public discourse, even they suppress any amount of the dissent. If you will go against the government or the people who are ruling, you will be punished. So there will be the suppression of dissent and opposition. There are a lot of example of this authoritarian rule. For example, the most important rule that is going on is the North Korea. Here, you cannot, but there could, the one man rule is going on. Okay. Into the Russia under the President Vladimir Putin, we have seen that the opposition has been suppressed, and even any opposition, they are put into the jail or that they have been eliminated. This has been the case. Recently, we saw that he has been continuously into the power for the last 24 years, and maybe by the 2030 he will going to into the power. Other example of the China, it doesn't, again here the party has the authoritarian rule. One party that has captured the power and no one can speak against or oppose this party, that is the Communist Party of India or Communist Party of the China. Okay. Saudi Arabia, here it is not, they do not allow the public gathering or the political activism. So again here is the authoritarianism. So these are the example. What the research gives? The research gives the people of the South, even in the Indian scenario, 85% people into the India, they supported the authoritarian rule. This is the condition. Like the Indonesia, Brazil, all have a large percentage of the people that are supporting the authoritarian rule. Here it is given that the 77% from the Indonesia, South Africa 66%, Brazil 57%. Okay, leave that into the Western countries, the developed countries, country like the UK. There is the support by the 37% of the people, they are supporting for the authoritarian rule. United States 32%. Okay, so these are the thing that has been the there. These are the countries where there has been the huge support. Even in the US, so let's see the US, there is support of the 32% of the people, those who are supporting for the authoritarian rule. So this is here that has been that is the mind of the people that this survey is telling. Why? Because we have seen that the trust of the democratic government, that is the from the people, they wanted the wishes that was not fulfilled. We have seen that the government economic policy has not been that much as per the aspiration of the people, and that has widened the gap between the those who are very rich and the normal population, huge gap. 1% of the people near about controlling the 60% of the resource or the economy of a country. That is the condition in the most of the countries. Okay. Large corporation and the financial institution, they have get the favoritism from the government to influence the government policy in their own favor. People have seen that under the democratic government, and that's why they have become the disillusion of such thing. For example, in India, recently we saw the ranking into the environmental performance index, and India was into the bottom. Let the see what was the India's ranking, 155 out of 178 countries, and recently into the 2022 India was the last one out of 180 out of 180, means no one is behind the India. This is the case into the environment performance index. What is the condition? The mainly it is the focus on the economic growth without focusing on the inequality or the resource. There has been the growth in economy, but the money is going into the very hand of the very few people or the very small section of the population. This has been the condition, and equality in not only India but across the world is increasing. Okay. The resources, the environment has been deteriorated, that has been destroyed, that has been the condition. So here, the writer is talking about the why this is happening, the science of the system. Here it comes. Okay. So the writer is talking about there has been the fragmentation of the expertise and the policy analysis and research. A bigger picture was not put in front of the expert or the leaders or the politician when they were taking their policy or decision. Here, take the example. The economics or the any of the polity has been just focusing on the economic growth. They were not thinking about the society and the social impact or the environmental impact. These experts, they have the good knowledge about their own stream or the own area. But whenever you are talking about, you should focus, if you will not keep into the mind the whole of the picture, what does it impacting on the overall society, that include the society, environment, forest, everything, until and unless a narrow expertise will not bring the favorable result. Here, the politics and the economics highlight as the integral component of the complex social system. Okay, economic which emerge from the philosophy and humanities. If that will exclude this area, the economics outcome will not favorable to the people. Even the high-tech solution that has provided the complex solution for the complex matter or the issue, but they have not, they have created other issues. One issue has been resolved, but the 10 issues has been created by this high-tech solution. For example, now the cyber crime is very high. You have made this transaction easier, but same time you have made the people vulnerable to the cyber crime as well. It is very easy to theft from your account, bank account, in the electronics media or the online mode. Okay, so this is the case. Here there has been mention of a philosopher, Isaiah Berlin. Isaiah Berlin is talking about there is the hedgehogs and there are the foxes. Hedgehogs, they have the big ideas, and foxes, they have the good knowledge about the many things, but they have not a overall idea of the whole picture. So here it is asking, the philosopher Isaiah Berlin talk about there is need to balance these hedgehogs and the fox. Both are needed for the society and a holistic development and a holistic outcome of the societal problem. Okay, so here it is the main thing that it is talking about the cooperation that is needed from the each other's stream and all of the stream that is into the society. It should be like the cooperation, not the competition that is followed by the businesses. Okay. So for example, in the family recognize the value of the women's work and the extra work that women do, but into the economy, into the GDP, their work and their outcome is not added. This is the issue, and here the fragmentation comes. Okay. So this all these things that should work into the manner of the cooperation that exists into the families. Okay. So in the families there are despite the natural differences, but there is also the cooperation for the benefit of the all members, and that is the family system that our writer is talking about. So this is all about from this news article. This is a very much, you can use it into the very effective manner whenever you are going to write a essay. This include the many discipline of the GS paper. Okay. We are going to take is the living wills implementation lacks in India. So here it is talking about the living will. So what is the living will? Like a people when it's feel ill or some ailment I am feeling, and I feel that I could be face some of the dire situations, some of the situation where I cannot speak, I cannot express my any of the thing. Means the condition will become worse. I will go into the coma. There will be the no such thing that I can communicate to the people, whether whatever the condition. So in such a condition, the people have the right to die with their dignity. There is the medical condition where the condition and situation of the people become very worse. They suffer and suffer it to the degree that the suffering become unbearable, and they cannot able to speak on the, they cannot able to communicate. In such condition, there is the dilemma, there is the confusion what to do. The family member, due to their love for their closure one, they don't want to let the people die, despite whatever the condition is that. But those people who are suffering from this ailment and this disease, they want to die because their suffering has become to that extent, but they cannot communicate. So in such a condition, if the people reach and they are not able to communicate, they are not able to communicate, what is the solution? The solution is that when they are good, when they are in a healthy condition, when a small illness they face, they can write all these things that what they want to be into the condition when they will be into the very dire situation, very worse condition when there will be the lot of suffering, and the person is not able to communicate. That is known as the living will. So first it was introduced into the India by the 2018, and in the 2018 it was the Supreme Court judgment that brought this living will into the implementation. This living will was not into the public domain because it was not allowed. Why? There is a lot of the condition, because who knows if the people will continue to live and there could be the new technology into the future, by that disease that person is suffering can be cured. The second thing is that that could be misused. The family member can misuse, they can kill to take the property of that particular person on their own name. There is lot of such thing. To prevent such thing, the government doesn't brought with the any guideline, or it doesn't allowed for the living will or the such a such a death or the killing during the ailment. Okay, so the Supreme Court came up with this judgment into the 2018, and recently it is into the news because in the March we have seen that the 30 people in the Thrissur into the Kerala, they has been executed the living will. They have been. Okay, so this is the situation, and that's why despite all this thing, the use of living will is very low. It has increased the number of those who are opting for the living will, but still the number is very low. In the 2018, when this law comes, so the Supreme Court wanted to prevent the misuse, and that's why they wanted to make it the more stringent. So what they did, they brought the law, and with the law they made it compulsory that whenever there is the living will, this living will should be countersigned by the judicial magistrate, which proved to be very impractical, because you cannot go and you cannot sign with the judicial magistrate this type of the living will, and it's become very difficult. Okay, so in 2023 the Supreme Court again came up with the new guideline, and it streamlined this, the whatever the flaws was there. Now it has been make it the Supreme Court has made it a bit easier. Okay, now this living will, this can be countersigned in the presence of the two witnesses and attested before the notary or the gazetted officer. So this is the now condition. It is easy to find the gazetted officer, and they can hand it over to the competent officer into the local government, who can act as the custodian. And whenever there is the such condition that a person goes into the critical treatment, the doctors that is treating, they can be as the custodian, or they can use it the this will as the digital health record from there. Okay, and they can authenticate this living will. Still there is lot of the situation, because this is not possible. Again, these doctors and those custodians, they feel that there is the legal complication, and that need to be redressed, because still the doctors do not take decision, officer they do not allow, because they think that what is the legal implication into the future if the people will die, if that person will die in the case of the death or the end of the life. Beside that, the death and end of the life is not it is taken as a very shocking thing. This is not comfortable. This is not convenient for the any of the people, and that's why the people hesitate to take such a decision. Besides that, even the recent guideline of the 2023 that has so many ambiguities. Okay, and there has been the ambiguities such as that there has been the no definition of the next of the kin. There is the in the case of the disagreement among the family members, there is no resolution for this. Okay, all this thing is there. So what is the way forward? What could be the way forward? The first thing that is required, that there should be the expertise from the medical and legal profession, that should include, and state government should bring the clear-cut guideline, and it should include the expertise from the medical and the legal profession. We have seen recently, like just the Haryana government has issued the direction for the civil surgeon to follow the Supreme Court judgment. Okay, and even they have not provided the guideline for it. This is the situation. So we need to a clear-cut guideline and the simplification and the elimination of all these ambiguity. Okay. So this is the thing that could be there to make it more comfortable, more convenient. Okay. Only thing is that effective guidance and the consistent action that is needed to bring this living will into the more streamlined, and maybe it could be the easier for people to use this guideline and this living will procedure. So this is all about from this news article. Let's start few of the questions that we have done till now, and these questions will be based on the topic that we have covered until our discussion. So let's start with the first question. Which of the following used as security when state government borrows within India? So Consolidated Fund of India, Consolidated Fund of the State, Reserve Bank of India deposit, public account of India. So we saw that it is the Consolidated Fund of the State that is needed, and it is under the laws made by the legislature of the state. So it is under Article 293. So please remember all this thing. Next question. Which of the following accurately describe the role of Government of India under Article 293 of Indian Constitution? A. It sets borrowing limit for the state governments. B. It can lend money to state or guarantee state loans. Okay. It has no role in borrowing process of the state government. It approves all loans raised by the state government. So all loans raised by the government, this is not the case. It has no role in borrowing process of the state government. It has role. It can lend money to the state and guarantee the state government. So this is the correct. Okay, so it is here, that is the correct. It sets borrowing limit for the state government. Okay. So 1 and 2 can both be the answer, but the B is the more to the this role of the government of India. Okay, this is more directly. Okay, so here it is the clear cut. It is mentioned in Article 293. This set borrowing limit that comes from the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act of 2003. Okay, so here it is the from that. So that's why A will be not correct, B will be the correct answer. Let's solve question number 3. Identify the primary purpose of Article 293 into the Indian Constitution: to promote fiscal federalism, to prevent states from accumulating excessive debt, to ensure central government control over state finance, to facilitate smooth interstate financial transactions. So here, if we will go through Article 293, what it's talk? It's talk the power of a state to borrow, and it will be as per the state legislature law. Okay. So to ensure the central government control over the state finance, this is not correct. To facilitate smooth interstate financial transaction. So it is not talking about the interstate financial transaction. Again, it is wrong. To promote fiscal federalism. Yes, it's promote the fiscal federalism, but it is not the main purpose. It is asking about the primary purpose. The primary purpose is to prevent state from the accumulative excess debt. It shouldn't be that much beyond the paying limit of the states, and that's why it will be the correct answer. Question number 4. Which of the following was the primary aim of the original Fiscal Responsibility Budget Management Act of 2003? Eliminating revenue deficit and reducing the fiscal deficit, maintaining a specific debt to GDP ratio. It is talking about the original. Increasing capital expenditure to a certain percentage of GDP, eliminating primary deficit. Okay, so yes, here we can say that its main purpose, main aim is to eliminate the revenue deficit and reducing the fiscal deficit. Okay, so it is not about the primary deficit. What is the primary deficit? The fiscal deficit minus the interest rate. Fiscal deficit minus interest payment by the state government. Interest payments on the loans taken by the state government. Okay, so this is not the case. Maintaining a specific date, this comes into the 2018 amendment, so not into the original. That's why it's incorrect. Its purpose is to increase the capital expenditure, but not to a certain percentage that has not been given into the GDP terms. Okay, so A will be the correct answer. Question number 5. Which of the following was introduced by the FRBM Amendment 2018? So we see that it was the focus to the debt to the GDP ratio that was brought by the 2018. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. Complete elimination of the fiscal deficit. No, there is the target of the 3%. That will be the total of the GDP. Strict provision of any borrowing by the state government. No strict any. Here it is the any. That's make it incorrect. Introduction of inflation targeting framework. No, it is not done by this. There is the separate provision for this. So it will be the B will be the correct answer. Question number 6. Who publishes the biennial environmental performance index X? So this is so much into the news because India is, okay, there is the question, so I will not tell what is the India's position. World Economic Forum in partnership with the Yale and the Columbia University. World Bank in collaboration with the United Nations Environment Program. International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, World Wildlife Fund, WWF. So the correct answer here is the first. It is the World Economic Forum in the partnership with the L and the Columbia University. So this is the correct. So A will be the correct answer. It is in the news. Why into the news? I will discuss. Which of the following not one of the key policy objective of the Environmental Performance Index aims to track? Climate change performance, ecosystem vitality, environmental health, trade agreement and tariff. So here it doesn't matter about it doesn't concern about the trade agreement and the tariff. So this is the not. Here it is asking about the not one of the key policies. So this is the not. That's why this is the correct. The Environmental Performance Index rank countries based on their performance across various environmental indicators. Which of the following is one of the issue categorized considered into the Environmental Performance Index, EPI? Biodiversity, air quality, water resource, ये तीनों होता है. That's why it will be the D is the correct answer. Last question. In the 2002 Environmental Performance Index, which countries was ranked last? And it was the India. It was the rank last, and that's why there was so much debate that this performance index is not true. Indian government was not accepting. Out of 180, India's rank was the 180. That is the condition, and that's why so much criticism. Indian government said that lot of effort we are making renewable energy, international solar alliance. Despite you are ranking us last, we will not compromise. We will not accept this. But the justification by the World Economic Forum was that you are giving your forest area to your businessman industries without thinking. There is lot of encroachment to the wetland areas, and that's why we have given the last rank. So this is all about from the today's news. We have completed most of the relevant news from the today's newspaper. So here we will conclude our session here. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.